So, okay, how many foodies in the house? OMG. How many people love eating pasta over here? And how many people love eating biryani? I need some noise! Superb, there we go. Okay, the whole reason of starting Hyderabad Food Diaries, was to help people like you. There are many applications in the market right now, where you can actually go ahead and search about food, cuisines, dishes and everything. But do you get a personal touch? Do you have any application which is replying to your messages, which is suggesting, where to go, what is the price, how is the ambience, how is the cuisine over there? No. So it was me, who thought, let's start with something, where I can get in touch with the local crowd, even with the, the abroad crowd. So generally what happened is, I'm a hotel management graduate. I was doing my hotel management, and in the second semester of hotel management, you have 6 months of training. So basically you need to work at one of the 5-star properties in different departments. So, they make you work like I hope there are no hotel management or, okay, oh my God, mera hi banda hai yaar. Okay, I'll skip that. So they make you work like donkeys, like literally it is hard work, and all you get paid is $1,000. So, while working over there, kitchen was the worst department for me, The moment you enter inside, oh my God, not everyone can be a chef, not everyone can actually work in the kitchen. So it was my very first day in the kitchen, and the executive chef of the department says that, Zubair, you need to work in tandoor. And you know how tandoor rotis are made, everything. You have this thing, the typical Indian tandoor, you need to keep up the roti inside and then remove it. So very first day in hotel and in kitchen department, and I'm being placed in a tandoor section. And they asked me to, the chef says, chef, मैं क्या करूँ? So he says, कुछ मत कर, roti निकाल अंदर से. So I said, okay, fine. The simplest job I got on the very first day, even I'm learning, it is a good thing. I'll just go ahead and, do it. मैं हाथ डालता हूँ अंदर, and God has gifted me with a lot of hair, okay? So मैं हाथ डालता हूँ अंदर, and आवाज़ आती है, and I'm like, what is happening? मतलब ये हो क्या रहा है? And I started crying. I was a kid. I was a college kid that time. And I'm like, this is not the way I want to work. I'm a guy, I'm a front office guy. I love standing in front, I love interacting with people. I love, knowing their stories. I love to, converse with them. And then I was like, this is not happening. I'm not working in this kitchen. So I was crying, and I went to the chef and said, chef, mujhse nahi hoga. I'm not doing in this department. Put me in some other department. Put me in IID, A guest is calling. I'll go and deliver the food to his room. I don't mind. Then he's like, okay, tu relax kar, itna kyun ho raha hai, okay, chill down. And then he's like, you do one thing, you go on a break, and then we'll discuss. So while I was going on a break, he said, Zubair, do me a favor, get me few vegetables from the kitchen. So I went, I was like, theek hai, jaate hain. I brought the vegetables and gave it to him. And I came back. I came back after 20 minutes of my lunch break. When I came back, those, simple vegetables, carrot, capsicum, and all of these things were transformed into a beautiful dish, That was art to me. That was the moment, that was the inspiration for me. Okay, these are the people who are actually trained from 14 years, 15 years. These people have been working in the departments, with all the required equipments. They have facilities available. And that is the reason they are, able to make such good dishes and all. But what about the people, who has been gifted from their grandfathers, great-grandfathers, who have been cooking in their homes, the home chefs. Nobody talks about them. Nobody knows about them. There are no marketing about them. There is no promotions about them. So that thing was stuck in my mind. Okay, ये तो मतलब काम करते हैं लोग. They are trained and all. But what about those people? So after my graduation, that thing was going in my mind. And I was like, नहीं, बाहर चलते हैं. Let's go. Let's explore the city. So I started with a very simple shawarma, stall which is in Old City. I went. I spoke to him. I don't know how many of you know about that stall, but that is probably one of the very first shawarma places in Hyderabad. So I went to him, I spoke to him, and I got to know the entire story about his business, his passion and everything. That thing continued. So it started with shawarma, it started with clubs, it started with lounges, and then my journey in food blogging started. But then what about Hyderabad Food Diaries? Now fortunately, touch wood, we have recently crossed 60,000 followers, which is a huge number for me. Uh, when I started, I had zero knowledge about Instagram. I had zero knowledge about, stories, videos, how hashtags works and all. In my time, I had Orkut. In my time, I had Yahoo Messenger. Facebook was very new. People were, getting transferred from, they were actually moving from Yahoo Messenger, Rediff to Facebook. So I come from that time, and I literally used to write on a sheet of paper, कि okay, ये weekend पे यहाँ चलते हैं. This is a new place which has come up. Let's go and check. But now that bookmark list is not ending only. There are so many places in Hyderabad coming up every single day. There are restaurants, there are lounges, there are clubs. You name them, we are having it. I was so happy about it, but then unfortunately one fine day I was sitting with a group of people, all of my friends, around 15-20 of us, and we were having an amazing night. Bonfire was there, music was there, everything was happening. There was this pretty lady who said, Zubair, chal chalte hain biryani khane. And I'm like, okay, you're in Hyderabad from past 15 days, और 15 दिन के बाद बंदी बोलती हैं चल चलते हैं बिरयानी खाने. And I'm like, okay. So she knows only about biryani in Hyderabad. She had no clue about other places. Then I told her there are places, which other cities also don't have. Hyderabad has that. But the whole problem was people don't know about it. No one is there to, market those places, promote those places and all. So that was the time, I thought, let's open something, let's do something with the coming generation or the young generation who would actually, look up to and say, ki, okay, अगर कुछ मालूम करना है, कुछ देखना है, चलते हैं, we'll get it over. So that's how Hyderabad Food Diaries started, and fortunately the response has been extremely good. People have been responding to stories, posts. I mean, whatever I post, it's getting viral, and I'm fortunate enough, and followers, I mean, they are crazy, man. They are insane. Like the kind of queries I get, the kind of the explanations that I need to give them is crazy. So that was how Hyderabad Food Diaries exactly started. So I wanted to let people of North, or not just North, even the localites know that it is not only about biryani, but also there are many other places. Events like Sensation. How many of you been to Sensation over here? You need to wear all white dresses and go. You've been to Sensation? Okay, so Sensation is the only event which happens in India, in Hyderabad only. And this was the second time that they have come. And they're going to do for the next 3 years. So other cities don't have this. People from Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata come to Hyderabad to attend such events. But we are not promoting those things. So it's when I decided, okay, let's open something. And then Hyderabad Food Diaries was born. And I fortunately have never looked back after that. But again, everything is, not, yes, there are good things about it, there are bad things about it also. Food blogging is not only, butterflies, colorful things and all. Yes, there's a lot of criticism which happens, there's a lot of online bullying which happens. But again, it depends, how are you taking that? For me, criticism for me is fuel, it actually makes me do things, which I have not even imagined. So I was at one of the events happening at one of the 5-star properties where before the Christmas you do a cake mixing ceremony. Okay, so you mix up all the spices, you mix up all the dry fruits and everything. So when that event was happening, the event went on very peacefully. I come the other next day, everyone, all the bloggers are actually starting to post about it, market that thing and all. And one of the bloggers, she says that okay, Hyderabad Food Diaries is actually copying the content and all. This is just the criticism that I get on daily basis. And I'm like, okay, now imagine you're going to a Shah Rukh Khan movie and you are supposed to describe about a song where he's lifting his hands and singing a song for his beautiful lady. Now what will you write? Will you write Shah Rukh Khan was standing on a mountain lifting his hand and singing a song for his lady, or will you write there was Salman Khan fighting with the cops and all? No, right? You write about Shah Rukh Khan only. So they started criticizing me about that. And then another incident which happened with me was there was this I don't know what they call auto blogger, people who blog about automobiles and all, auto blogger, yes. So he was very much interested in in blogging with me or to do a collaboration and all. I was happy. I'm always open to collaborations and all, because I believe when you do a collaboration, it's mainly it helps both the properties, both the people at both the ends. So while I was doing that, he was very excited. So I asked him, what is the whole plan? You know, what do you exactly want to do? So he was like, Zubair, let's do one thing. I'll get my bike. You sit behind. We'll go on a ride. We'll go to a restaurant and we'll review the restaurant. I'm like, okay, but what is the whole funda? Like, what are we doing here? He's like, nothing. We're just going on a ride. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. This is not something, you know, it's not sounding good to me. I mean, there is nothing productive happening in this collaboration. So he was like, okay, fine. The next day morning, he does multiple of stories saying, you know, Hyderabad Food Diaries. He tags me and says, paid reviewer, fake reviewer. And I'm like, okay. So these things, you know, these small things happen a lot. So not just food blogging, also in fashion blogging or, you know, content creators go through this a lot. But again, you know, it depends completely on you how you take it. A lot of people ask me, you know, a lot of people message me saying, sir, you're my inspiration. Looking at your blog, you know, we have started a lot of things. We are getting to know a lot of things about Hyderabad. You know, even I want to start food blogging and all. Yes, you can start, but again, as I said, it is not easy. Creating content is never easy. People think that, you know, okay, arey restaurant jata hai, khata hai, pita hai, maze karta hai, but it is not. We know, you know, the kind of hard work which goes into it is extraordinary. So February 19th, I'll be completing 2 years of Hyderabad Food Diaries in Hyderabad. And trust me guys, I'm not making this up. In last 2 years, I have missed so many birthdays, I have missed so many family events, I have missed my parents' anniversaries, I have missed my younger siblings' birthday parties and all, only to make sure Hyderabad Food Diaries at this level. In last 2 years, there were only 2 weeks where I've taken the leave. One, because one of my cousin sister was getting married. Two, because I fell sick. I was not well, you know, viral fever was happening and everything was going on. So I had to take leave for 2 weeks. But the rest of the days, every single day, every single night, I am out. Only to make sure that, you know, people of Hyderabad get to know about some or the other place or some or the other event which is happening. So this is the kind of, you know, sacrifice that you need to do. This is the kind of hard work that you need to put to be at certain level. But again, once you reach there, small advices that I would like to give. I don't want to extend this longer because I understand you guys have been sitting from morning. So I'm going to end it up here. You know, a lot of people ask me, sir, give me tips and tricks how to start an Instagram page. There are no tips and tricks behind it. The whole reason for me to start an Instagram page was to help people. If your intentions are good, trust me, you will go a long way. You know, there are few things that I want to say. How many of you know about Wood Allen? You know, he's one of the greatest persons to walk on this earth. You know, he's a godfather when it comes to coaching. Coaching of NBA, I mean basketball and all. So he's one of the personalities, you know, which if you go through his Wikipedia and all, you'll be amazed and shocked to see the number of achievements that he has received and the number of awards that he has got. But again, he's a personality who would actually inspire people to come on to the basketball player and, you know, do something about it. Basically, he's a bridge between success and winning. You know, even after being such a inspiration and, you know, such a motivational guy, what he used to do is, once the game is over, once the basketball game is over, he would go to his gym, find a broom and sweep the floor. You know why? Because he used to, every single night, he used to bury his ego. I would suggest you find that broom. If you really want to be the name, if you really want to, you know, turn heads, if you want, you know, someone to actually look up to you, bury that ego. You know, do not go with that. It kills dreams, you know, it kills you. It kills your inspirations and, you know, it kills your passion. So when I started my food blogging, that was very clear in my head that, you know, I didn't want to do that. For me, it is an utmost important thing. If I have a blogger who has just joined and, you know, who's just started food blogging, and I have a blogger who's already there from 10 years, for me, both of them are same. I give respect to him also, I would give respect to him also. So it's all about, you know, sharing the knowledge. It's all about being humble. It's all about being kind with everyone. If your intentions are actually good, you would go to greater places. Another thing, your content. Yes, your content matters. You know, the more you work hard with your content, the more good it is for your Instagram page. But again, content, you know, without numbers will be zero. Work on your numbers. For me to reach 60,000 followers was not easy. It was a struggle for me. I understand. After I started my food blogging, 5,000, and I feel like, I'm the king of the Instagram. Matlab, Hyderabad mein koi hai nahi food blogger who can touch me and all. But then after I reached 5,000 followers, I am stagnant over there. Nothing is happening. People are not liking my post. Those numbers are not increasing. Those comments are not increasing. And I'm like, kya ho raha hai? Should I just, close this thing? And then one of my friends says, wait, don't hurry up. Give it a time. So slowly, things will work. For some, it will work instantly. For some, it will take some time. It is not a one-night thing. It took me 2 years to reach here. It might take you 6 months. It might take you 4 years also. So these are the small tips and tricks that I actually wanted to give. And the last thing, I would say, there'll be a lot of faces that you will actually come across while food blogging and other blogging also. Do not give up, because there are a lot of people that I've personally seen who start the food blogging, they see numbers and like, "Arey yaar, kuch nahi ho raha hai." Leave it. Just leave it that way. But don't do that. If I can do something like this, I am sure every single one of you can do it. Because I was actually sitting like this and listening to a lot of speeches, and I never gave up. When I thought that I should leave my 9 to 6 job and come and work as a full-time blogger like this, that thing was very hard for me to digest first. My dad was in a shock. When I am the eldest in the family, and being an eldest is an ass in the pay. I mean, sorry, but it is a responsibility. I have 2 younger siblings at home. My dad was getting retired. He used to work with Reserve Bank of India. He's an officer over there, worked for 25 years. I can't do that. 25 years in one organization, I'll go mad. So he worked for 25 years. He was getting retired. We shifted to some other new house. My younger brother got into job very recently, only 2 months. Another brother is just doing his graduation and all, and I'm working at one of the retail stores. I'm basically from retail. After completing my hotel management, I joined retail. So I was working with Zara that time. I was a store manager, getting paid extraordinary. For a retailer in South India to get 85,000 per month is a big amount. Trust me on that. The elder son earning 85,000 per month. And all of a sudden, you go and say to your dad, "Dad, मैं नौकरी छोड़ रहा हूँ." And he's going mad. I'm like, huh? What is happening? मैं मतलब रिटायर हो रहा हूँ, छोटा बेटा अभी ज्वाइन कर रहा है, और एक छोटा है वो पढ़ रहा है, हम लोग ने घर शिफ्ट कर दिया और तू नौकरी छोड़ रहा है. So for the 1 week, he was all shocked. He was, I was like, क्या करूँ? But then, as I said, never give up. Because your dreams matter and you matter. If you seriously start working on that, if you seriously start dedicating time on that, things will change. What happened in my case? My dad has a very good habit, or should I say bad habit, whatever it is. He gets up in the morning, he reads a newspaper. He needs chai. So one fine day, I'm sleeping, 8:30. I'm a night person. I don't get up early in the mornings and all. I mean, you ask me to, party till 4:35 in the morning, I'm all okay. You ask me to get up at 5, I say no. मुझसे नहीं होगा. So 7:30 in the morning, he knocks at my door and he's like, "Bahar aa." I'm like, okay. I came out and he's like, "Ye tu hai?" And there was a big article on Hyderabad food diaries and Mohammad Zubair Ali in Deccan Chronicle. So that was my defining moment. The day he saw that, till today he never asked me, "Beta kya kar raha hai, kyun kar raha hai?" पहले ऐसा होता था, he used to ask me, "कब तक वापस आएगा?" 12:31. Now कभी भी आ रहा, बस कॉल कर ले. Things change. Never give up. Never let your dreams die. If you actually work on it, if you actually start, concentrating on it, and try to implement things will definitely change. These are small things for me. Okay, I have monsters people gone. Monster, are they in the house? No, right? Okay, cool. I don't care though. So Red Bull is my, is my water. So I drink Red Bull like mad. I don't know how many followers are sitting over here. They know it very well. So, for me, it is water for me. So, when I was posting about Red Bull, I used to just tag very normally that, I'm drinking Red Bull today. And every single day I used to post that. So, one day what happened, one fine day, Red Bull India Instagram page, they replied back saying, "How many per day?" And I'm like, I was clueless. I was like, I have no clue. I never counted. And I'm like, "Why do you say that?" So I said, "Just wait for a second. I'll just send you a video." And then I have a very bad habit of, collecting the rings. of Red Bull. Every single Red Bull that I drink, I collect that drink. So I took all the drinks. I asked one of my friends to record a slow motion video, and I'm just dropping those Red Bull rings. It was just a video of 4 seconds, and I sent it to Red Bull. This is the reason I said I have no count, and he was amazed to see. And that was only not even 1/4 of the part of the rings that I have. And he's speechless. He just sends me that emoticon of clap, and he goes off. After a week, he again asked me for a number, saying, Zubair, pass on your number, I have something for you. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? Red Bull India is messaging me all of a sudden. And I'm like, okay, haan, le number le le. And then he gives me a call after three days, and he says, Zubair, come down to our Begumpet office. My country head is in India. He wants to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, ye kya ho raha hai? What is happening with me? I was like literally shaking that day. And I then went, I met the gentleman. He was very kind enough. So Red Bull India wanted me to be their official blogger in Hyderabad. This for me was success. This was not recognition. Getting an article in a newspaper, being featured in Tulip magazine, being featured in Ritz magazine, all these are appreciations. For me, this was success. A drink, the only drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink, no alcohol, nothing. It's only Red Bull for me or water. This, the only drink which I used to spend on, 300 bucks, you go to a lounge, you pay for a Red Bull, one single Red Bull will cost you 350 rupees. That Red Bull company itself is coming up to you and saying, ki, be our official blogger. So we had a discussion that day, we had a lot of things happened that day, paperwork happened. But unfortunately things didn't work out because Red Bull as a brand is more into doing a lot of sports event. And I cannot relate with sports. Trust me on this. I'm not a gym freak. I'm not a healthy freak. I love eating food. So I couldn't go ahead with that. And I had to chuck that. But again, while I was going back, the gentleman says, Zubair, come here. And I went and I spoke to him. Yes, sir. What do you want? So he's like, take these 2 crates of Red Bull. And I'm all happy. And I'm like, oh my God, free mein Red Bull mil raha hai. 2 crate. I mean, not even one. And then he says, ye bhi leke ja. Every month I'll send you one. So this thing is success for me. This is something that I didn't dream of, I didn't had plans of, but I had goals of. Dream, but not without goals. If you just dream, it will only, you will only run in the same corners and same circle. But if you set your goals, set smaller goals, set bigger goals. But if you work on that, you will actually go there. When did I start setting my goals? After I reached 8,000 followers. And then I realized social media is very powerful. It has got, I mean, you can't even imagine of some of the incidents, that actually, I can't forget are those, which connected me very strongly to social media. One of them is the 2014 elections which happened in India. The Modi government came into, power. Until then, the Congress and Modi government, the Congress is actually doing all the, the classic and, the old methods of, starting a, hoarding or a campaign and all. But what Modi was doing is starting, online media. He was actually, literally, he was everywhere. You open up YouTube, you open up Zomato, you will actually see Modi government. Ab ki baar Modi sarkar. I'm like, bhai, kya ho raha hai? He's everywhere. He was everywhere. And that's one of the reasons, social media has helped youngsters to come out and vote. And if you actually go through the, I'm not making this up, if you actually go through the numbers of 2014 elections and all, you would see 60-70% were actually 60-70% were actually youngsters who voted. So that is the power of social media. So while everything was happening in India, this thing actually struck my mind. Ki, okay, let's go ahead with Hyderabad also. Let's start something for Hyderabad people, who love eating food, who love going out. So for any queries, for any requirements, yes, you can go to a lot of applications on social media. But you really want to know, how the ambience is, how the service is, how the actual food is, you can always get in touch with Hyderabad Food Diaries. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me over here. It was a pleasure being here. And a huge round of applause for the entire team of LitUp and The Climber. You guys are actually doing an amazing job. Hyderabad needs these kind of stages, you know, Hyderabad need this kind of push. So any kind of queries, any kind of requirements that you have with regards to F&B sector, restaurant, lounges, clubs, anything, just ping me on Hyderabad Food Diaries and I promise I'll reply you back. It might take some time. It takes me 40 minutes every single day to reply to the messages and all, but I will definitely come back. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much for having me.